Hey everybody, what is happening? Walker Bee Ranch. What's happening, Bob? 86, what's up, man? Martin Manufacturing 10. What is happening? You'll have to watch the recorded version. Mary Ranch, what's happening? Mary, how are you? Andrew, what's up, buddy? How you doing there, brother? Andrew, I did some burgers tonight. Had some Uncle Steve's on them. I did the bacon cheeseburgers with Uncle Steve's and that, and oh my god, that's just so good. Yeah, you oh yeah, it's good. So smash the patties down, put Uncle Steve's on it, and then I like rolled them up into that ball like what you had, and then did the smash. Oh, brother, it's good. Yeah, it's good. And tonight there is Rheingeist Mathlete, the low cal IPA. It's it's only a 4%er. See, Rheingeist, and I think yeah, Andrew, this is man, the look at that. It's Cincy made. This is a brewery out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Ah, so a couple things tonight, everybody. Um, I want to. We actually, I got a box in the mail. Yeah, Andrew, I know I'm thirsty too. I'm gonna be double fisting over there. I got a box in the mail from Bob at Walker Bee Ranch, and let me pull up right there. Rodney, what's up, man? Rheingeist literally translates to Rhine Ghost. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's good. They got different ones. When I was at Sam's the other day, they had like a 12 pack and it had uh four different ones. They had three of them of each. And I'm like, yeah, let me get the variety pack. So, but I got a box from Walker Bee Ranch. Um, Bob, appreciate it. Um, and I know what it is, and I didn't look in it. I sliced the top of it, that way I could go slow and I don't nip any fingertips and all that stuff off. But I know what this is. And Rodney, what's up, man? What's happening, brother? Um, I know what's in here. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. And you know what, Bob? Like you said, it's hokey packaging. Bob, I appreciate this because that's going to get recycled for when I do the same exact thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's see here. I know what this is. Oh. Come on. And I got to taste it too. Oh, yes. Look at that. That's awesome. Walker Bee Ranch on there. Established 2020, fall 2021 honey. Oh, let's set that down right there. And I'm going to slide. I know what's in the box. I'm going to slide over here to my honey shelf. And right there. Oh, I got to open this. Chad, what's up, man? Oh, what is happening? Let's see here. Bob, I appreciate it. I have on the shelf over there, I've got honey from Texas. Uh, Jake sent me some. Nunya, Texas on the back 20. I've got honey from Rodney. Um, I've got honey from New York, another apiary that I got. Uh, I have some of my original over there too. So I'm going to get a little sample, and this is going to go. I'll probably use, of course, most of this, but uh, I'll do a little sample jar and save it. I'm gonna save like samples from all over the place. So, oh man, Jake, I'm talking about you, brother. Let's see what this stuff tastes like. Mm. Ooh, that's different. It's a little bit more mild than Ohio fall. Ohio fall's real dark. I'm curious, like, and Bob, this is South Carolina, so what as far as like flowers and that typically of what they hit for fall honey, and even late summer. Yeah, I know, Mary, I'm drooling too. Where do they what do they typically where do they get this at? That's good. I'm doing another spoonful. Mm, mm, mm. Bob, that's good. Mm, mm. I'm gonna stop. And alive. That's awesome. I appreciate it, Bob. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I love getting honey from people. I do. Oh, you're just now getting your goldenrod. Okay. Our goldenrod up here is completely done. Um, it was a bust, more or less. I've been having to feed, and the hives that started taking it, they are like, they're slurping it down. There's like no getting around. Um, they are, I mean, really taking it down. I just went over, let me see, yesterday I mixed up another batch and checked the hive that's close at the farmer's property. They had taken the top feeder. I think I probably had a gallon in it that I put over the weekend, gone. So, Wade Barnes, what's happening? This is my first full year of bees. Can anybody tell me why I would find them dead in front of the box at my house? So, yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Wade, are there still bees in the hive? So just start there. If you see now, if there's bees in the hive, and uh, what Chad said there might be it. This time of the year is like super heavy, and I experienced in my apiary when I was opening them up, I got into some robbing and had to close everything up like right away. Um, that could be one of the things. Um, on the one hive that I had opened up, I went a day or so later and was just looking just to check and see how the activity was. And I found a little teeny cluster like this big around, maybe 6 inches on the ground, just bee bodies where, the robbers and that they were just going at it. So that could be, but it could be any number of things. Yeah, Chad, it's, you know, yeah, I don't know what to think about this. I already had to trim it down here because it was getting a little crazy and bothering the heck out of me. So, but yeah. Yeah, it could be that there too. Beetles or moths, it could be um really Wade, it could be any number of things. So, I am not old, Chad. I am not old. I'm not 50 yet. So, you're the one that's old, brother. So, y'all, um we got somebody here. I see them sitting down here in the basement. They threw them down in the basement. Let me I'm going to give you a little clue right there. Right there, look at that. Look at that. Check out the California beekeeper. I know some of you all know him. Um let's see. Let's see. I know some of you all. Let's see here. Walker Beer, and you're old. You're 51. Ooh. Let's see. So the guest here tonight, yeah, I gave it away. California beekeeper Jose. I follow him. Uh, I like some of the stuff that he does. Last year, I saw a video where, and I'm going to ask him this stuff. I saw a video where a bear got in and wiped out some of his little mini mating nukes. This year, he had to deal with fires. So I saw that, a couple hives just totally burnt. So that just, that's why I like talking to beekeepers from all over, just to get like, just see, well, this time of year, what are they dealing with? And, but let me quit running my mouth. Let's get him up here because he's sitting here waiting for me. So you all know me, I'll run my mouth all night. So Jose, welcome, man.
Hey, what's going on, Brian?
How
How
are
you doing,
you?
man?
So awesome for you to join, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, man. This is great.
Yeah, and
Great.
like I said, I like to keep things low key, chat bees, I know, in fact, I know somebody that was in here, and let me find his comment. Rodney.
Oh yeah. Rodney's a good guy. Yeah, I've talked to him a
Yep.
couple times. Yeah.
Yeah. Rodney, I actually got little honey samples from Rodney.
Oh yeah, that was
So
tasty honey.
oh my
Yeah.
God, I know. I got them things sitting right over there on my little honey shelf.
Oh man, it's
So
funny. Hey, what's going on, Rodney? Uh,
yeah.
yeah, Maximus, he tore that honey up. Yeah. So
Yeah, I know. I know. So man, so I got questions for you.
yeah.
So now I want to pull this up just to show people. We got this right here. So those that do not know, um, and I know I do not want to mess up the name. Uribe honeybees.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it. Uribe honeybees. Yes.
Yep. Now, what I did was I went back to your very first video where you were surrounded by millions of bees, and you say it in that video. And that's what I listened to that a couple times, and I'm like, all right, I can't mess this up. If I have him on here as a guest, I can't mess it up.
Yeah.
But
That's
I look
awesome.
at this, the queen bees that you all do. Um, how long have you been in like commercial beekeeping?
Yeah, so I'll give you guys, some of you guys might know me as, Jose, the California beekeeper.
Mhm.
And just so I'll give you guys a quick little lowdown on me, a little story. So 2008, I was a superintendent, nothing with bees,
Oh
superintendent
wow.
at a commercial construction company, and the market crashed. I don't know if you guys remember that. The 2008, the market crashed, and 2009, I was offered a beekeeping job, bees. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
well, a job at the time, a job was a job, and I
Right.
was very fascinated. Bees. Well, I need to check this out.
Yeah.
So there it was with the company. He ran several thousand hives, and quickly just wanted to soak it up and learn, and became the foreman.
Oh wow.
This company focused, on pollination. It
Okay.
is big in California. All almonds is the number one crop here that we pollinate. So
Yeah.
it's pollination, brokering of bees for pollination, and then producing bee packages that we delivered all over the Midwest. Just
Oh
delivered
wow.
bee packages. It was those wild times,
Yeah.
and also did honey producing in Wyoming. We'd ship all our bees to Wyoming to produce honey, and there I got the
Wow.
opportunity to work with these Bryant Honey Incorporated. And they're the biggest beekeepers in Wyoming, so that was fun. You got to learn
Yeah.
uh, all these different ways of honey producing that
hmm
is just innovating, the ways
hmm
these things are done. I
Yeah.
was used to, cracking the hives, and, there's hundreds of years and we're still using a hive tool to crack a hive to remove it.
I
But these
know.
guys, they were about it, and learned just their family's 100 years doing bees, you know?
That is awesome.
So they definitely got their techniques down, and that was pretty neat to experience that.
Yeah.
But here in California, especially in Northern California, I got to work with some good big commercial outfits, learning about the ways they do things, efficiency on a commercial level, which was really cool. Then Queens, Northern California is known for, well, producing some of the best queens in the world. And that's where I was just really fascinated with the queens. And from there, we were faced with challenges of providing queens for our packages.
Yeah.
And just the lack of quality queens being available for our packages, that I just threw an idea. Let's do some queens. Let's do it. And from there, it was just kind of how would I say it? Just we implemented a bee breeding program among that company, and then from there, it was just I learned the importance of like just genetics, disease testing of bees. We worked with the Bee Informed Partnership, and they're just I think they're based out of, I want to say Iowa, but I could be wrong. But it's just a lab where they do test bees for diseases and all sorts of stuff.
I've heard of them, but I've never done anything with them. So
yeah, it's great. I mean, they have a good thing going there. If especially if you're a queen breeder, it's very important to make sure that you're producing good quality queens, and you have to get them tested for so many things. And then it was just fast forward 2019, we branched off and started Uribe honeybees with just under 200 hives. It was and just specialized in queen breeding. That was my passion. That was what I love doing, is really producing some good quality Northern California queens.
Right. I wanted to, and I'm just the backyard kind of person. I don't think I'll ever do anything commercial like what you do, but I wanted to start grafting and raising queens this year. It just didn't work out. I lost everything over last winter. So, it happens. It's a learning lesson in beekeeping. I got a hold of a beekeeper towards like central Ohio, and I got bees that he actually gets from Dawn the Fat Bee Man.
Okay.
And they call them more or less like Appalachian mutts. They're just, he kind of looks at certain genetics, and, if, they're brooding, they're, resistant, they are honey producers. He grafts from those. So you're keeping those good traits.
Yeah.
And they're not like, if people ask me what kind of bees mine are, I'm like, I don't know. They're mutts,
Yeah.
But I wanted to, graft. I didn't want to start this year then with starting fresh with packages, just because I want strong colonies.
Yeah.
And then next spring, I'm going to hammer it. So next year will be my first experiment with grafting.
Oh man,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. It's I guess that's where we learn, is through our mistakes, and you learn to pick up what works for you, really. Because every region has, it's a specific way, is what works for your area.
That's it. Yeah.
So that's pretty important to just kind of know. You can't try to implement something that's from somewhere, that's sunny 80 degrees all the time, when you live in the, in the north, where it's
Yeah.
cold, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. And you look, if like the beekeepers in here, I mean, we could talk about all different climates because Kai Farm down in the Caribbean, Mustang Ranch and Bees, he is in South Dakota.
okay.
So, there's beekeepers all over. Rodney down in the Carolinas, um, so there's beekeepers in here from all over. But like you said too, the beekeeper actually that I got my packages from, he does a podcast. And in his one podcast, he was talking about the context
Okay.
and, more or less every like area, like he's in Ohio, I'm in Ohio, but like I'm in Northeast Ohio where we get some lake effect weather off of Lake Erie, where he's down towards central and he doesn't get any of that. So it just, like you said, the region where you're from, it affects a lot.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it's just the challenges of just breeding in general. It's in the hands of Mother Nature.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. We always get asked when are your queens available? Well,
When's it going to stop
I'll
raining?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. When's it going to warm up? Or, so yeah. Yeah. Like you said, Mother Nature, she dictates really everything that we do,
yeah.
you
No
know?
doubt, no doubt.
So,
And
yeah.
yeah, when we started Uribe honeybees, I was telling Kelly that how important this was to me to just kind of just do it right.
Yep.
Now we have our own company, and we could adjust what we want to adjust exactly
Mhm.
how we want it.
Yeah.
And it was always pretty important to me to be able to just. Um, I remember just the times working for that other outfit, just how
Mhm.
hard it was. There was no queens available.
Oh,
Then
wow.
it was just you were stuck. And for
Mhm.
me, being a beekeeper, I just wanted to make sure that that never really happened to us because we don't like to settle for just any queens.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
beekeeper has what they want. If they're a
Yeah.
honey producer, if they pollinate crops, it's always important. I mean, some people do it on a hobby level. They love their honey. They want one hive just to produce that honey, and
Yeah.
we always try to breed things that are going to populate well. Good brood patterns is pretty important, and like I said, the testing hygienic behaviors and traits. Just because we have so many diseases, parasites, mites, varroa
Mhm.
mites is, it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's, it's so tough. It's so tough. I remember a quick little story when we branched off. I was so used to going to Wyoming for the summer,
Mhm.
but we kept our bees that summer. We kept our bees in California.
Okay.
Beekeeping in California is totally different. You're hot all the time, and you're
Wow.
faced with
Yeah.
different climates. So you have to adjust. You have to be able to adjust your treating regimen. Treating regimens are very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at, I think it's, in my opinion, it's very important to treat.
Now, I've never been to Northern California. I've been to San Diego for I was there for 2 days. I helped my brother move from Cleveland to San Diego. We drove across the country and then I flew home. Northern California, like weather-wise and as far as the seasons, how like what type of seasons do you guys get in your area?
So, our seasons, we have the ability just with the humidity and the temperature, we have that ability to be able to just get that good early spring.
Okay.
Being with the almonds all over the place, it just kind of makes these hives really explode
Oh,
and
okay.
producing drones
All right.
faster and earlier than most places. But the climate is just so ideal here in Northern California. It is,
Yeah.
we'll say you're in the 70s, getting those nice warm days and as early as March.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Wow.
making, producing, and mating weather is great. But
Yeah.
again, weather dictates what we do.
It does. Yeah.
We could have 1,500 nukes waiting to mate, and we have 2 weeks of rain, and there it goes there. So it's very challenging. It's very challenging.
What now, if you get into that situation, because I bought a couple of those mini mating nukes, but they're just all sitting on a shelf and they're ready for next year.
Yeah.
When I was going through all kind of different videos, I saw yours and I was just like, oh, how many does he have?
Yeah.
I just thought, oh my gosh. And then I saw your bear video and I just, I
Oh,
mean, my heart sunk.
yeah.
My heart sunk.
Oh
You
man,
know,
I'm getting choked up still thinking about that.
Yeah. But if you get into that situation with the mini mating nukes, like if you get that stretch of rain, what do you have to do anything different than what you would with, an 8 or a 10 frame hive?
No, as far as the weather, if it's raining, there's nothing much. I think it's just pretty important to, I don't know if there's tricks. You
Yeah.
just, like I said, I could give you how I do it here,
Yeah.
and it might not work somewhere else.
Right.
We get
Right.
that question asked a lot, and how do you keep your bees in your nukes and where they don't drift away?
Yeah.
And it's all, sometimes it's just the learning by
Yeah.
mistake.
Oh, okay.
Was one of the biggest things. I mean, we started initially, when we branched off, we only started just trying out 100 of those mini nukes.
Okay.
And I told myself, if I could do 100 here in California in the summer with
Yeah.
100-degree days,
Right.
oh yeah, I got it, no problem.
Yeah.
But no, I was wrong, and there's a lot more to it, and I learned that.
Yeah.
Kelly's, prior to the mini nukes, we used to have these. They were called the Shamrock Type S, I believe it was, and it's a
Hmm.
4-way nuke. It's a plastic hive
Okay.
body, and it's a deep body also. So it has
Interesting.
four chambers, and it has a feeder inside, and
Mhm.
running those on, with another company was pretty simple. You don't
Hmm.
have to have a tight schedule. Um, if you don't get to them, then no problem. Leave them there
Yeah.
for a couple days. With
Mhm.
MiniMating Nukes, it's time sensitive as far as your schedule. You have to make sure that you're on them, and
Okay.
that's what I learned. If you missed, leave them for an extended period, they're gonna abscond. They're just gonna
Oh,
leave.
okay.
So they'll just swarm away, and there goes your, you know, several hundred
Right.
queens. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that
Wow.
we learned. I see Rodney asked a question.
Yeah. And I know I was gonna actually, just touch on that too. I mean, as far as weather, that's another video of yours that I watched, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know, like in Ohio, where I'm at, we don't have fires like that. It's just too we had so much rain this year that we would probably take a fire to dry everything up.
Yeah,
That out there, those fires, I just,
they're
you know,
vicious.
yeah. And Rodney, I mean, that's a great question there.
Yeah. So, you know, today actually we got a call from the insurance company to kind
Oh,
of get an idea of what we can recoup. I mean, our insurance doesn't cover the bees, but we're hoping that maybe we
wow.
could recoup some
Equipment.
equipment. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just that part where it's a learning process there, because I've never been experienced with losing hives in a fire like that.
Yeah.
And how to start and what to do. So I would say that, even though it was 36 hives, with our operation being as far as hive numbers, we really depend on every single hive.
Yeah.
Especially for our queen breeding season when it comes. So that's it did affect us, where we're going to have to quickly make up new hives the moment that our bees start to explode after almonds. And we'll have to do that by just making up new nukes quickly, and to make sure that we can have enough drone stock for the number of nukes that we run, because we run just over 1,500 mating nukes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's yeah.
Do you know how many of those little mini mating nukes I bought? I got 4.
Yeah. Have you tried them?
They're all put together. And I just, because I didn't graft this year, I didn't use them. So I have everything set.
Got it.
Now, because they're foundationless, I just recently, and it should come in the mail next week. I have a 3D printer coming. I actually found someone that has a design online for printing, plastic foundation for the mini mating nukes. And like beekeepers do, we have wax. So I might try just a couple frames, just to see how they do, and really throw a heavy wax on them. If it helps, then it helps. Maybe I'll do 2 of them with that foundation, 2 of them without, and just compare. So we'll see. We'll see. Next spring, I'll be nervous as all get out, when I start messing with that. But, like you said earlier, though, beekeeping, you want those strong queens. Strong queens are just it's just a key part of your apiary.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've learned that.
Yeah, it's that little bug is the most important bee in the colony.
Yeah.
So it's pretty important to just have, like I said, all those traits. And I think that's one thing that I learned here in California, or Northern California, is being around all these queen producers and how important that is. So it's it's a challenge to just put yourself up there with some of these reputable queen breeders, and keeping that name of
your queens. Do you try and stick to like certain breeds?
Not necessarily. Well, being a queen producer. Oh, sorry. What was that?
Do you go for like the mutts, or are you trying to stick to like carnies, or just a specific breed?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So, for my apiary, I run Carnolians, and I have Italians. I also have hybrids, the mutts, right? So I don't have a certain breed that I prefer. But I guess it's those bees that are resilient, hardy, and populated is what I try to go for. And that could really be a Carnolian or an Italian. It just all depends on genetics.
Yeah.
So if you have good, strong genetics, then I think it could be a Carnolian or an Italian. I think they both have different benefits, right? So Italians, a lot of people that come to California, they love their Italians.
Hmm.
A lot of guys in the Midwest or in the North, they love Carnolians
Yeah.
for their tolerate the winters. You know.
I've never had carnies.
Uh huh.
I got three of them from another, supplier that's close to Ohio, and I don't know whether they weren't mated correctly, but they were released. I checked that they were released, and about 5 or so days after that, I went back to the hives, and they were gone. And I looked in there, and I seen cells, and I thought, "What the," and they were the only ones that did it. I had other queens, like I've used Sacatras. I liked Sacatras. Um, the carnies were the only ones that did it, and I'm like, "All right, bugs, why didn't you just stay in the boxes?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a bug in the box. Why don't you just stay in the box?" You
Yeah.
know? Um, but, I've never really run them. Saskatraz, um, I've gotten them. I liked them.
Yeah.
I liked them.
What did you like? I mean, I've never ran a Sacatraz, but I
Um,
know like OHB here, Oliveris honeybees, they produce the Sacatraz.
that's where they came from.
Okay.
Yep. There's a bee company. It's Queenwright Colonies. They're in Ohio. I forget. I think
Yeah.
it's like Spencer, Ohio.
Yeah.
Um, they get queens from their OHB Saskatraz. So, and I just thought I'll try them, and they brooded nice. They kind of started a little slow. It's like you opened up the gate, and they kind of just walked out of the gate. But once those things started, they exploded.
Oh
You
man.
know,
Yeah.
So, but for those that want like a fast, you want to see fast results,
Yeah.
at least from the Saskatraz I had, they were slow out of the gate.
Yeah. That's what I've
So,
heard. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, I think I've talked to a couple different people, folks that have ran the Sacatraz, and it's just both ways.
right.
But yeah, I think that's kind of just part of Queens. Sometimes it is sometimes hit or miss, um, but for the most part, you just want to always get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I had a I had a recent and those that know me, Rodney, when I called him, I was like, "Well, I made another goof," and he goes, "Not Brian," because he knows. I thought after I had treated, and I thought that I had two hives that went queenless. Well, I keep a double nuke, the resource hives for those situations. That way, if it's late in the year like this in Ohio, I can just combine over from my double nukes.
Yeah,
So I combined over, thinking, well, this is fine. I'll just, I'll clean that equipment up, get it ready for when I do splits in the spring. So it all works out. Well, here, come to find out, those two colonies were in the process, probably the timing when I looked at it, they were probably in the process of they had probably swarmed and were in the process of requeening,
yeah,
killed both the queens that I put in. So then I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, like I'm really kind of freaking then, So I went back 2 days later just to look, and I found in the one, I found a brand new queen, fat one. And I thought, oh, thank you, you know. And a couple days later, same exact thing in the other. And in a matter of about a week, those two have laid up 4+ frames. They're just hammering it. So I I can look up and say thank you, and I've crossed my fingers and everything. You
yeah,
know, those those queens are they're mutts. They lay like mad. They exploded. They started as packages, and um I pulled honey off of them in the spring, and they started as packages. So, or in the summer. So, but now they had, I set them up with like the perfect situation because I had drawn comb, they had
oh yeah,
framed honey, they had pollen frames already. So when I dumped my packages in, they had a complete built out eight, I run 8 frames. They had 8 frames that were stacked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Those packages with drawn comb, they just take off.
yeah,
They just take off.
yeah,
It's funny when we used to produce packages. I was asked, how do you install packages? And I didn't know how to answer that.
yeah.
We produce the packages, but I've never had installed the packages. So then it's like, okay, now I have to learn how to install packages. I was asked how to do it. And
Mhm.
so what I found in installing packages was it makes these, the packages really take off, and it's taking 2 frames of brood into those packages and just shaking those bees. And oh man, you're gonna have a booming single in no time.
I
So
never thought about that.
yeah, so like if you have the resources,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
you just, oh wow. I mean, even if it's 1 frame
right.
of brood, it just helps that package just really take off.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah,
So
next spring.
yeah.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to watch though because I don't want to get like Rodney. He went from 5 to I think 31 this year.
Oh man,
I I
he's
don't
ready to ship them out over here to California. Yeah,
he'll contact a broker and he can send them out for the almonds.
yeah. Do you, in your area, do you know anybody that ships to California?
I don't.
No.
Um there's tons of beekeepers in my area. Um but I don't know anyone that ships them out. So, Greg buddy, what's up? That's actually the guy I got my bees from.
Okay, nice.
So, Greg
Nice.
Burns. Yeah. And we even
Yeah.
have Australia watching.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I don't have any brewski, but I have a cup of coffee right here.
I tell you what, if I had coffee at and then even 3 hours back, it's 5:42. I probably wouldn't go to sleep till 4 a.m.
Oh man. Well, you could always edit a video.
I have been known to do that.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean the YouTube. We'll talk a little bit about YouTube. What got you to want to do YouTube?
When I started, very first started with beekeeping,
Yeah.
I just talking to different family and all that, and from my brother, he thought it was cool, and he lives an hour away, so it's like, for him to come down and look at anything, it's hard. So I just got the idea, and I had a GoPro. I had used the GoPro just for all kind of different stuff, zip lining and all kind of stuff, and I was like, well, why don't I just start filming the bees? And I told my brother, I said, I can start throwing stuff on YouTube, and then when I do stuff with the bees, you could check it out. And I talked to other family members, and they were like, yeah, that's cool, we'd love to see it. Everybody's interested in bees.
Yeah.
you know so that's you know and look at who just jumped on also.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ian's on the house, huh?
Ian, what's up, brother?
What's going
uh,
on?
but yeah, that's how I started. It was just to share like my journey going into beekeeping.
Yeah.
um, and I've always like, I think I had one year where I was just so busy and I didn't have, I wasn't able to put, I think I maybe over the summer only did like 2 videos, but, you know, it's, it's kind of taken off recently. But I love sharing it. I love doing this kind of stuff here, talking to all the different beekeepers and
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah,
No
Ricky
doubt.
Rourke. Do you know Ricky, Horizontal Bees?
Yeah, I actually watched a few of his videos
Yeah.
because I've never ran that style beehive, and
Hmm.
just kind of was pretty fascinated. I'd like to maybe in the spring try to run one.
I so I got into bees because my mom wanted to get a hive. So I just looked into it, and like you, it's like that little light bulb goes off, and I was just drawn to it. I was
Yeah.
like the bug drawn to the light. And that's how I got started. But my mom kind of took, you know, she had some health things go on, so she, couldn't do any beekeeping the last, I think, 3 years. She really wanted to get back into it. So seeing the horizontal hives that Ricky did, I built two of them.
Oh,
And I
nice.
tell you what, they are, I love them. I truly, I love them.
Yeah.
So they're easy to work. They built out as compared to the regular Langstroths, they built out, in my opinion, faster.
Well, I
So
think what I like about them is that you don't have to bend over.
yeah. Yeah. And
Oh, man.
the one I built for my mom, I set it up so that her arms were at a perfect angle, a 90-degree angle. So I told her, I said, stand there and have your arms out so that it's comfortable to work. And I took all the measured, and I built that thing so it's standing perfect, and she can literally just walk up and pop the inner covers and start working with it.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, yeah.
So let's see, Ian. Yeah, I did not lose any more hives. We just lost those 36 hives up there in the Dixie Fire. But we, even moving them up, we moved them up further up the mountain in a high desert area. So we weren't amongst the trees anymore. Where we were at, it was a Plumas National Forest. So we moved them up to a high desert area in a place near Susanville, California. And it's just sand and rabbit brush and
Oh wow.
alfalfa fields. But that doesn't say that they weren't affected still with the
Yeah.
smoke. That Dixie Fire reached that other location. And within, I guess, man, it was a week, it reached, and it was just hit hard by the smoke. And just having a supplement, giving them pollen patties. I mean, that was the earliest I ever gave pollen patties to some hives up there in the mountains and the Sierras.
Wow.
And feeding. They just really looked like they were not building out the way they should have. And so we'll see how they make it through the winter. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they'll make it. That's the thing that got me a little boggled, because it just
Those
seems like,
environmental factors.
yeah, it's just, and there's nothing out there. If you look up how wildfire smoke affects bees, there's really nothing out there right now, because it's just something that's just happening now often. So how is that affecting the bees? I don't know. It's affecting them. It's definitely affecting them.
Right.
So
yeah. I had being from Ohio, I had never seen smoke like that. And I was working in Vancouver, Washington. And I think it was a little over 3 years ago when there were fires, then. And when I went to work, and when I drove to work, I was looking, and I thought it was fog. Well, I went out to lunch, and the fog was still there. And when I went back into work, I said, like, when does the fog go away here? And they were like, that's not fog. And I'm looking at the window, and I'm like, what the heck is it? It looks like fog to me. And they were like, it's smoke. And I was blown away. I was like, what? And they were like, it's from this fire. And, I was just blown away. But like you said, there has to be an effect on the bees.
Yeah.
Has to,
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Ian. When we started the channel, I mean, we talked a little bit. Ian was great. I reached out once to kind of ask him some questions. We're new to this YouTube, but I knew that it was something that was missing. We were always asked by our customers on simple questions. Simple questions. How do I put my queen in? or how do
Yeah.
I do this? And so we found that, it's for us, it was just trying to provide some knowledge, some
Mhm.
experience through just kind of day-to-day things that we do here. And I mean, it's already hard enough to keep bees alive,
Yeah.
and it's
Is
a great platform to do it. Like you,
right.
Ian, there's other great YouTubers out there that are beekeepers.
Yeah.
And
Is that really what led you to start your channel then, is just, the customers asking, so you thought, well, here's a platform and I can share that out to my customers. Is that
yeah,
really?
it was. There's this a thing of like me being coming from doing thousands of hives.
Mhm.
Um, that's all I knew was bees. Who do you talk to? Bees. Work bees. Everything was bees. Never sleep. Bees.
Yeah, yeah,
To
yeah,
starting ours, only 200 hives. Now I have all this time. Well, I don't have that much time. 1,500 nukes is pulling my hair out. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it was just the whole lack of some information here on the West Coast
okay,
on how to do things.
yeah,
And I thought, stop. Well, we'll start a channel, and Kelly really kind of just pushed me to um, just do it, and she contributes with the editing. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, she
The
so I
editing is great.
hats to
Yeah,
her because she does a great job in
yeah.
editing. I mean, I'm sure you edit your own videos, and
I do, but where I I had help. So the person that did my intro and did my new logo, it's the grill sergeant, and he's in LA, and he edits, he does that professionally. So when I got my Mac, I text him and I was like, Andrew, you got to help me out. So we just did one of these. I set up a StreamYard and did a private thing. And I'm like, okay, and I pulled up iMovie and he was like, all right, make sure that you do this. And so we spent about an hour and he went through basically the inside and out of here's how iMovie works. So that really helped me because right when I got the product, I had somebody that, you know, does it professionally really sit for an hour and guided me through everything. So, that helped. But yeah, it takes time. I mean, I'll spend hours doing one video.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, I believe it. I mean, it's like just the whole beekeeping thing. I mean, it's one thing that I found just kind of downscaling and being that it's a great family business.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
Like in our household, everyone has a role,
Right.
and like Maximus is a
Yeah.
huge part of our channel.
I
He loves his bees.
I watched him, so I watched Kelly when she was assembling your Ross rounds
Yeah,
and she was painting them. And I saw him off to the side when she finished the one box. He was already working on another. So, but I'm curious. I might do some Ross rounds next year. I
yeah.
might.
Well, California, we that's not our thing. We don't produce honey out here. I mean, we could, but like this year was a horrible year. Um, like we were dry. I mean, I think Ian was asking. Yeah, we are extremely dry. We have our
Wow,
reservoirs; they're going dry. I mean, if they're not already dry, they're dry.
that is
Um,
crazy.
I'm from an area in Butte County here in California, Orville Lake. I've never seen the lake level so low. They have these hydroelectricity
Hmm.
um, pumps there where they produce energy, and they
Yeah.
shut those off for the first time, I think, in history. I'm not sure, but they shut them
Wow.
off because the lake levels are so low.
Wow.
Um,
Well, I
just
mean,
having
that's
to
just
supply
like me.
water. What's that?
Lake Mead is what, 100 feet, 100 foot down or something.
I'm not familiar with Lake Mead. Is that
It's
up
the one. It's over by, I think, Vegas, where, what is it, the Hoover Dam, and that powers.
Southern California?
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I saw pictures, and it just, it blows my mind because here, like, I'm just a couple minutes away from a reservoir that provides water for our area, and if it goes like a foot low, everybody's like freaking out.
Yeah.
But it'll fluctuate. But this year we had so much rain that our reservoir was like probably 2 foot up.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Ian, you hit the nail on the head when I think you said, hope that I didn't have a virgin queen in those two hives, because, and I told Jose earlier, both queens that I introduced were killed, and both of those hives requeen themselves. So it's worked out. I learned a lesson how late my hives can requeen. But yeah, they're both fine now. So thankfully, yeah, yeah. But that, yeah, how dry your area is.
Yeah, it's
How,
gonna be it's gonna be interesting, because for us in particular, it's we're seeing a lot of farmers, growers, almond growers.
mhm.
They're ripping out the trees because of the lack of water now. Uh,
Really?
yeah, so there is, man. It's just there. We're not talking about small lots. We're talking about
Yeah.
1,000 acres of almonds just getting yanked out because they're getting the water supply is getting cut off, um,
Wow.
and some guys are pulling out trees earlier than normal just so they can replant some younger trees that take less water. The older
Oh my God.
trees produce less nuts, but you need to water them a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting here for California, and really this affects the whole United States as far as beekeepers, because everybody comes to California to pollinate the almonds,
Yeah.
and so
Wow.
it's gonna be interesting, and
Yeah.
we'll see if if we can all stay in the same level, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I guess, like the dairy industry or the chicken industry.
Right.
We don't want to see it crash where we're
Yeah.
doing pollination for free. I think there needs to be some kind of balance there as far as
Yeah.
just regulating
Like, I sit at night, and, I'm like a night owl. I sleep sometimes 5, 6 hours a night is all I sleep. And I'll sit up and, like, I search through my Fire TV and, like, the beekeeping, movies that are out there. And when they talk about, colony collapse and all that stuff, and like all of those issues, and I've said this to other people, I'm like, you know, I don't know. Now I know Ian has, um, his whole set aside from the bees, there's the other farming aspect to Stepler Farms. Um,
Mhm.
but I've said to people, I'm like, if cows, would just have this like cow collapse, and you walk out and there's 1,000 dead cows,
Yeah.
it in my mind, there would be, it would set off more of an alarm, you know, with, like, in the agriculture industry, farming and all that. And bees seem to, like, it's just like nobody even thinks about it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just, you know, and that blows my mind. I'm like, bees, though, they do so much, you know, and with everything going on, and the environmental factors that you're saying, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
crazy.
it's going to get interesting for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that is crazy. Ian got to get his sleep, 8 to 9 hours sleep minimum.
Oh man, it's because Ian has older kids now. He's not getting the. Oh man, I will be lucky if we get a 5 to 6.
Now, how many do you just have the one?
Maximus and Kennedy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Here in the house, we have Maximus and Kennedy, and
Now,
Kennedy just turned 1.
oh, I was going to say how old, and my kids are 22 and 20, so they do their thing, you know.
Yeah.
I get text messages, "What's for dinner?"
Oh man.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we're
know.
busy.
Yeah, what's for dinner? I don't dare to ask what's for dinner. It's what's for dinner. That's what's happening. You just eat
Yeah,
it.
yeah. My younger one, the 20-year-old, she'll text what's for dinner, and if she don't like it, she'll pick something up on her way home. So,
Yeah,
that's like, well, whatever, spend your money, you know.
yeah.
So,
Kelly will ask me, "Hey, she knows me. She knows me. I'll before I get to the house. We have a lot of taco trucks out here, so I got to have my tacos."
I tell you what, I think it was yesterday. Um, I was texting, and what do you guys want for dinner? And I was going to do burgers. My daughter, she won't eat burgers made at home, but she'll go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac.
Oh man.
Blows my mind.
Oh
So
geez.
I
Those Big
said,
Macs are delicious, though.
they are.
Oh,
And I
we got.
said, I
Uh-huh.
said, well, why don't I'll do burritos, So we did burritos yesterday. Yeah.
We got tactical bassin in the house. Oh, nice.
I'm
We got
seeing, yeah, yeah, yeah. With their
okay.
Kelly work lots in the bees.
You know, this past year she's worked the most that she has. Just the Maximus is a little older. We're able to
Yeah.
bring him out to the bee yard more often. I mean, that's his playground, so we can manage. And she'll go out there. But now, Kennedy is. We have Kennedy, and if she can, she'll try to.
Hmm.
When I would be at home, we would do the whole grafting. I'd graft from the shop there. I'd have
Oh,
all
okay.
my breeders and all my cell builders at our
Hmm.
shop. So she loves to graft, and she is a
Oh, wow.
lot faster than I am. I'll tell you what, she smokes me. So that's
I,
what's great is that she really enjoys doing that,
hmm
and she's great, really great at it, man. I won't, I can't see her. She's
I,
way too fast.
you're not the first person that has said, like, their wife or someone else, like, they'll have, somebody that works in their apiary, or whatever, they'll say, yeah, women are better grafters than men are.
Oh, no doubt, hands down. They're they just they're finesse. They're just so smooth. Um,
So what you're saying is I'm going to have to go and talk to my wife and say, all right, so every beekeeper I know says that you need to help me with grafting. And she'll say, get out of here.
well, maybe you could tell her, I will take care of everything else in the house, and you do the grafting.
You know what, though? I like to cook and stuff like that, though. So I don't, I barbecue. So I do some cook. I try and help. I mean, I know I have my moments like us husbands do, but I try and help. So I drive her more nuts probably than anything, but you know, that's what
Yeah.
husbands do. So,
Yeah. I try not to do it, but
yeah, we all do though.
yeah,
We all do.
yeah.
So yeah. I see it's what, an hour and 4 minutes. And I'm sure now I'll stay on as long as you want to, but I don't want to keep you too long if you have stuff that you have to do, because I know it's what, 6 o'clock in Cali.
Yeah, yeah, 6 o'clock.
So totally up to you how long you want to stay, but just so we're watching the time and that. So
Yeah, I don't know if there are any more some questions out there.
let's see here. What are some questions here? Who's got questions? Oh, here we go. I saw one from Matt. How many hives did you have before you made the jump to go on your own?
So I had 145 hives when I did the initial branching off, which is the number is pretty small when you're used to thousands.
Mhm.
But that was my number was 145. That same summer, uh, it was splits, just whatever I could split. It was getting that number count up high
Yeah.
and fast, and we increased it to, I believe it was 250 colonies that same. So it was
Wow.
around June to August. We increased about 100 hives,
Oh my gosh.
and that was just hence the mini nukes that we had bought, and I just supplied my own queens, and so it was pretty easy to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Ian, you take care. Yeah, Ian, I'll see you in January and we definitely will drink a beer. So, and if it's early in the day, we'll have some Tim Hortons.
All right, Aaron, here's a cheers.
Yeah. What's the least amount of queens you would ship? That's
That's
a
a good
good
question.
question.
That's a great question. Um, you know, one, one. That's I think it should be. It's important to us to be able to just give good quality queens to anybody. If you run one hive or 20,000 hives,
Mhm.
we we provide queens to all sorts of outfits or hobbyists at any level.
Yeah,
I think everybody should have that opportunity to get good queens. So yeah, the
that's
least
excellent.
enough one. We'll ship you one if you need it.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Yeah, awesome. And I'm gonna have a question for you. So you see, I have hats. I got this is the
Oh
Dirt
yeah.
Rooster hat. It's from Dirt Rooster, Randy.
Okay.
Your hat there, do you have a shop? Where did you get your hat?
Well, that's a great question. I'd have to ask Kelly. She works really hard in coming up with these ideas
Yeah,
for us. And but yeah, she worked
that looks
along.
awesome. I like that.
Yeah. She did a great job and just worked at it, and a couple ideas here and there, and just
Yeah.
really just messing around with a concept of what we were trying to
Hmm.
get that California feel in
Yeah.
our logo.
I'm gonna have to email Kelly.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah. Randy there, how much shipped to Ohio? He's another Ohio beekeeper.
Okay. Honestly, I don't. Ohio. I would have to look at UPS and see what they charge, because we only use UPS generally to ship queens.
Mhm.
It's the most reliable for us. We through the pandemic last year, it was, oh man, what a challenge.
I'm sure.
UPS was not guaranteeing the shipments of queens at all.
Yeah.
So if there was
Yeah.
any issues, those were hard blows. If there was
Yeah.
any issues on their part, where's the 150 queens? They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah. I know
So
there's another beekeeper on here that I talked to, and he had ordered, I think, 4 packages, and they all got delayed due to the pandemic, and when he got them, 2 of them were completely dead, and the other ones just had these small, teeny little clusters, and the queens were so lethargic, and he managed to save them, but, you know, the pandemic, I'm sure that hit you all's business, with shipping.
Yeah, it was challenging. It definitely was challenging. I think just being able to have the opportunity to ship out so many queens all the time, really fine tune how to do it. You know,
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is just providing the bees with what they need. Is
Mhm.
bees need water, so
Yeah.
that was pretty
Yeah.
important for us to just fine tune the way we ship our queens and make sure that we do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because temperatures affects them. Um, we were faced with beehives, the box that comes. I wish I had a picture or a nuke here to show
Yeah.
you guys, but
Yeah.
there's vents on each side, and we had a hive, or not a hive, a package that got smothered with other packages, so the bees
Oh my
cook.
gosh.
You know, so
That's
it's just kind of
crazy.
one of those things that that's out of your control.
Right.
And but I think we only had one of those things, and then we just fine tune everything. If we had to adjust, we adjust. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Rodney asked about how much your queens were, and I thought, I'm just going to go to your website.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, everybody, this is his website here. So I posted it in the chat. So definitely, favorite this site here. If you're looking for some queens, 2022 will be here.
Yeah,
I mean, before we know it, the 2022 season is going to be here. So
yeah. I mean, it's we don't even have queens, and we're already getting asked. So we'll be putting that out there on our website soon. That for 2022,
mhm.
just to lock in orders
Yeah.
as early as probably December.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
and we start
Good.
producing usually around the second week of March. I mean, it's
Okay.
all weather permitting, so
Right. Right.
so
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to, you know, I got a mental note here, you know, so you might be seeing an order. So
nice,
I
sweet.
like to, eh, like what I've learned this year, it's just having that variety in the different genetics in your apiary. So that just is, you know,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
genetics, I've learned that this year and it's kind of clicked in my head. It's having those, different genetics in your apiary is just makes such a huge difference.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's very
yeah,
important, and
it is.
I know, I'll never, we never really say much about other breeders, but we always just try to promote um, just
Mhm.
hygienic behavior in our
Yep.
apiary. It's pretty important. I mean,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
varroa mites, it's just crazy. That's challenging uh, in itself.
When
So
you say and whenever anyone says Varroa, I just kind of get this little tremor and I shake. It just, you know, I've had my dealings with them. So hopefully this year they're well, at least, so far looking at them, things seem to be in order this year. So I changed up my strategy. Um, you know, so we'll see.
well, we'll definitely have to get you some of our queens. I know you'll be very happy, and
Yeah.
you'll you,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to split them very fast.
I've got the equipment. I
Yeah.
have
So
the
what's your
equipment.
goal? How many hives are you
You know,
running right now?
I have enough equipment to run 12.
Okay.
So, that's 12 complete hives. And then I have um 8 or 10 pro nukes. That way when I do splits, I have those. I have
Hmm.
like 6 other, nukes that I built. And then I have the 2 double nuke like resource hive setup. So I have enough equipment that I can split, but like me, working a full-time job and with home and that, I want to try and balance the number that I can run
Yeah.
so that the beekeeping hobby doesn't overtake any of my time from home. So, Like this year I was up to 10 at one point, and that was, you know, that was okay. So, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of times where if I didn't grab my camera and film, you could rip through the inspections quick, because you're just looking for certain signs. You
Yeah.
go in, if you see that they're building out, their stores, you see eggs, all this and that and whatever, okay, slap it back together, move on.
Yeah.
Well, when you're filming, you're opening it up and you're running your mouth. So, you
Yeah.
know,
No, the filming. I need a camera person, honestly. I with so much work.
yeah.
And that's just filming. So I try to do my part, so Kelly doesn't have to edit so much, and
Oh, okay.
that's been my challenge and something that I'm trying to get better at as far as like shooting content for you guys
Yeah.
or for viewers, is shooting what things that are helpful or just things that we're actually doing in our apiary that someone might just take from, if it's
Yeah.
learning to not keep your bees in a fire prone zone, or it's just whatever it is
Yeah.
that we like to share. Whatever it is that we can share is
Right.
pretty important, because I
Yeah.
mean, like you're doing a great job, man. So, and
Thank
it's
you.
it's it's, it's kind of fun that
Yeah.
you reached out, and now we're here, and so
I, I know. And Ian, I I emailed Ian just randomly. Oh gosh, this has been earlier in the year, and he was like, "Yeah, sure," and he same thing. We ended up just chatting, and he looked, and he was like, "Oh man," and he had to go. He has so much work that he does, up at his place too, and I'm sure you as well. So I appreciate the time, but yeah, I anybody that joins in, I appreciate the time that you take out of your day to sit and chat, talk
yeah, well,
bees.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's what's great is you don't find many people that want to talk about bees. You could be at an event and just there by yourself. Who wants to talk bees?
I I know, and if my wife and I are anywhere and someone says anything or something comes up about bees, I know she's probably like, "Oh," you know? So I try, I try and, you know, keep it to a minimum. So, you know, but yeah, I'll just get going about it. And I mean, like I call people in here, like Chad, the one, he was in here, Rodney, we'll call and talk for an hour,
Yeah,
you know. Eh, So
yeah. I
yeah,
think I was on the phone with Rodney once, and um, I think it was I only meant to call him for a couple minutes because I was going to start working some hives, and we must
hour
have been on
later.
the phone for 30, 40 minutes and just talking about bees, uh,
Yeah,
which I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it,
yeah,
but sometimes you just get just like anything that you find a lot of passion for, is
yeah,
you just takes up, you just talk and talk.
yeah, yeah. Matt there. That's about what I get to. My
Oh yeah,
family's like, "Shut
yeah,
up."
yeah.
Matt is, he's a great homesteading channel, Matt and Sarah. They have a laser engraving business, and he
Mm.
actually I had tumblers made, and he laser engraved my new logo and had my name on the one, but super cool. But I know Matt's looking to go kind of towards that commercial end of beekeeping. He's building up, and
Oh,
so
nice.
he's just at the beginning, and he's just starting. So yeah, it's cool. It'll kind of be interesting to see, like, in even like 2 or 3 years, see where he's at, like number of hives and
Yeah.
just his weekly management, you know. So yeah, super cool. So, but hour and 20 minutes, Jose.
All right.
I'm probably going to end up jumping off of here in a second.
Okay.
That way I'll go out and sit, and my wife's not working tomorrow, so she'll be up a little later tonight. So we'll sit and watch a movie, and I'll try and be the good hubby.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy that that time with the wife,
Yeah.
and so I
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on, and it was
Th-
fun. It was fun,
This has
man.
been, yeah, this has been great. I tell you, if you ever want to again, let me know. You know, let me know. So, and I tell you, one last question there.
Yeah.
Are are you going by chance to um Cayman's conference that he has in January?
No, likely, unfortunately, probably not in January. Yeah, because that we are in full swing of pollination around that
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, we are definitely in full
Okay.
swing. We got broker bees that come
Yeah.
in,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
just but
Yeah.
yeah, that would be fun. That would definitely be
Yeah.
fun. Maybe in the future,
Yeah.
once we maybe we'll get some employees in the future, but right now
Right.
it's in house,
Building it up.
and yeah, it's just trying to get there, and
Yeah.
living the American dream.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You got a cool story that yeah, totally enjoyed this. So,
Oh, I see
yeah.
my I have to say bye to my niece Sierra. So
Did I miss did I miss a comment? Where? Let me see. Is it up in the is that
on Casbar, say low.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
yeah, that's
There
neat.
we go. Okay.
That's what was great. I think that's another thing. Like I said, beekeeping's a family thing,
Yeah.
and their family, they're fishermen. They
Oh, cool.
die hard bass fishermen.
Oh, man.
So their kiddo, she's out there on their boat fishing away.
Really?
So
Oh, man.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So that was I don't know nothing about fishing, but when I've been taken out to go fishing, you know,
I
it's fun. It's fun
yeah.
just being on a boat. I've never really been on a boat
Oh,
till
wow.
then.
I tell
So
you, when I was, I love fishing. When I was a senior in high school, myself and a good friend of mine, we would, because I set it up so I had like study hall for basically after lunch, it was just all study halls the rest of the day. Well, the teachers didn't care if I skipped out. So a good friend of mine and I would go and get our chest waders, and there
yeah,
was a lake behind my grandma's place. So we would park at her place and walk back through the woods to the lake and bass fish. And we would take like ultralights with like 4 pound, test,
yeah.
and just for the fun of it, just to, fight those bass. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot of memories there.
I bet, man. Well, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was. It was. Yeah. 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 So I'll be looking you up. So
yeah, for
add
sure.
add
Right
in
on.
some genetics. So
There we
and
go. There we
Greg
go.
there, I know my buddy Greg, I gotta make it down to his place. I've been saying he's 2 hours and I think about 10 minutes away. So
Well, we'll
he
have to get him some queens as well.
well he yeah, I mean he just actually got some from Bob Benny.
Oh yeah, nice.
So yeah, he's got some good genetics there, and he when I was talking to him, he said he calls them the stoner bees because he said they just do their thing and they're
Yeah,
just so chill.
just calm bees.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, I need some stoners around my place, you
Oh
know.
man,
So,
awesome.
but yeah, Jose, tell Kelly, thank you also.
Yeah, yeah, I
Emailing
definitely
back and
will.
forth and all that.
Yeah, I
Matt,
definitely
thank you
will.
for dropping his channel link on there. But those that don't know Jose, yeah, check him out. His love your channel, man.
Awesome,
So,
awesome. Well, I appreciate all the support from all you guys, and just rock and roll.
yeah, that's all. That's all.
So
So, you all, everybody, thank you so much for popping in here and you know going along the bee chat. So, you guys all know me. I mean, I'll talk forever. So, but yeah, Jose, it's been great, man. So I'll be in touch.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Night, y'all.
Yep. You all take care. Till the next one. So have a good night.
All right.
Jose, I'll see you.
Okay, man. We'll see ya.